Hello everyone, it's the Cajun Gaming Guild, Little Giant coming to you today, and today we are going to start our third episode on Astro Colony, a new awesome game, factory building, save the universe style type of game. Um, in the first episode we had a starter base, the second episode we did a power grid, and in this episode we are going to start expanding, and we're going to make an iron setup so that our iron parts and materials, etc., are all being built in one area, so I know where to go to find them if I need some. So again, this was our little starter area. That was the first episode, so if you want to watch how I did that and why I did that, you can go watch that. The next episode I showed you how to set this up, which is a power grid that will produce 150 megawatts, okay? And anything extra gets shoved into this base warehouse. Anything in the base warehouse, I never explained that in the other episode, but I should have explained it, is usable anywhere, and you can tell how much you have in there in the top left of your screen. All those materials that are up there are found in the base warehouse. They're all in here, plus what you have in your inventory, okay? Now, it's not going to show things like steel screws and copper plate, etc., etc., because it only shows you base materials up there, okay? Like all the ores, all the bars. That's what you're going to see, and only a specific type. Like, you're not going to see aluminum up there, you're not going to see titanium up there, etc. You'll see just the base materials required, all right? So that's where they're found. So if I was to put, let's say, these gold bars inside of here, you still see them up there because this is the base warehouse. So you can store anything you want in there. But if I want to know quickly, well, how much carbon do I have? Do I have enough to use some over here somewhere? Well, I know I have 3,160-ish inside of here, so I can just come back, grab them, and go type of thing. Okay? So that's our power setup. I showed you guys how to use logic blocks. I showed you how to time and to try and make things evenly so that all of these machines all have roughly 50 in them. If not 50, 49, like, you know what I mean? So it's all explained in detail in that second episode. So if you need to see that, you can go there and check it out. In the next episode right here, we are going to set up our iron setup. I needed roughly 1,700 floor plates, which I do have, okay? I have that much. I just basically sat here, put it on fast forward. Okay, you can fast forward time up to 8 times the speed. And I collected enough while trying not to die from lack of oxygen, because I still have not set up that yet. That'll be in the next episode. Before I do copper, I will set up oxygen. Alright, so we are going to do the iron first though, because I do want iron set up immediately so we can start gaining resources in that way. So we're going to build very close to our other setup here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start expanding immediately. We need a space. I'm going to leave enough space so that I can fly underneath of my base though, because you do need places to get underneath. We'll go with 5 spaces in between. And it's going to be a 7 by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that should be good enough. I wouldn't say we need more than that. In the last attempt that I did this, I did a 7 by 6, and it was pretty close to enough. But I want to make sure I have enough room, so I went a tiny bit bigger this round. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 by 7. We'll extend our little. I like to go a little bit beyond, because I'll probably use that space at a later time. Okay, so we have our perfect square, meaning we should be 7 by 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's that part of it. All right. So we have our 7 by 7. we are going to continue building. And again, we are going to go with our... Alright, so we have everything set up to start building our little platform for our auto catchers. So we're going to do that next. Okay, we'll need to build the floors, I suppose. I think we are good to go. That looks pretty good. Alright, do we have the stuff for this? We do not. I was wondering about that. Luckily we have tons of stuff made though. I'll just go ahead and grab all that stuff. And we'll put these down. We're going to put them down one at a time so we can switch them over to iron right away. Shoot. Wrong spot, my friends. Oh, I didn't fill out those either. I just noticed. Done. Might as well do that. Finish it off. I just forgot to put down this floor. Here. This floor as well. Right. Iron. Iron. 12 auto catchers. All doing iron. There's 12 auto catchers there. Why did I change up my design so much? Well, it's because I needed more room on the platform to build my industry, my factory, right? That one I didn't need so much room, so I was able to make it tighter, and therefore I just went further back with the catchers, one extra row. This one I just kept it to 2 rows, and it's already wide enough to put 6 perfectly, actually, too. So it worked out really, really good. Okay, so that's that in a nutshell. Now we just have to set up the track. Oh shoot, I just noticed something. I messed up with this one. Darn it. Okay, it's a good catch. I'm glad I caught it now. There, that's better. I was going to say I can't get through there. There's no path. All right, so let's get these paths made out. Here. There. Perfect. These are going to feed into a storage container. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. I would say this should be good enough right here. There, that should be fine. So we'll get all of my resources going into that storage container of all types, but mostly iron. It'll be like 95% iron compared, probably. Pretty close anyway. That is that part of the setup. Now we have to start extending. So first off, we need smelters to start smelting our stuff. Okay. So we will go ahead and put those in this corner over here. In my last attempt at this, I put my smelters directly in front. Then I put my next storage unit in the middle here. But the problem was that's the side between my storage unit and my smelters I could not use as an exit point because it was too congested. So this time I'm going to put my smelters over to the side. Still have my storage over there, so that way there it gives me an extra side to use for building. And because you need 4 exits, not 3. 3 is just not enough. You need 4 exits. Actually, in an awesome world, even more than 4 exits, which would be better, but there's only 4 available. So 4 is the best. That's the best you can do, unfortunately, unless you tie 2 of them together or something. But I'm not going to bother. I think 4 is going to be perfect. It'll work out for what I'm showing you today. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to make some smelters. Yeah. What could I do instead? I could move that over a little. It doesn't have to be. So let's change this up a bit. Nothing wrong with changing things up a little tiny bit, my friends. Not like anything's happening right now. I need room to get through. Gonna be wires there. Move over 2. I think that will be enough. There. That'll work just as good. I don't think there's going to be too much congestion. There's lots of space. You'll see there's lots of spacing in between, so it'll work out. It's not going to be too bad. I shouldn't see like a traffic jam by any stretch, so we should be okay with that. Now we can bring out all 3 of these paths. So we'll have this path over here. I'd like to be able to feed these things separately. That's why I'm doing it like this. This. Up. Up. And up to here. There. That should be that, my friends. Belt. 3 smelters. I like it. Now, one thing I did notice though with this is one of these 3 sides is going to spit out more than the other 2. I've noticed it earlier in a different run through. So you do have to set up logic blocks. If you don't, it's going to end up with one of these ended up with like 100 ores sitting in queue trying to be smelted down, and one of the other ones at 0 or like just enough to keep going every now and then the other one at like 20. You know what I mean? Like, but they're not evened out, so you have to use logic blocks in order to even it out. All right, so we're going to do that immediately. I'm not messing around. I'm not plugging in the power yet until everything is set up properly. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So in order to set that up, I need my logic blocks. So 3. Want to filter out, and so I said earlier, you know, you can have the copper and you can have the gold. I don't want it. I just want the iron coming out. That's it. So we're going to all put those filters there. We're going to fix the first one, iron ore, and we're going to press C, copy, and then V there. Done. Then next we want a blocker. A blocker? Well, because we want to be able to control the output of these things, right? So that 100 isn't coming out this side and 1 every now and then comes out here and 5 come out here. We want all of them to be relatively even. Okay, so we need logic block setup. We need room to put this. Here's a good place for the backside. But I'm going to need to find, I need wires there, so it's not really the best of spots. I'll block the exit, so that'll work for there, and we can put this one right next to it. We'll set up this one first. So pick sense device. So what we want is this one here. This stuff is going into this place. All right. So when this has iron ore of a certain amount, we want it to stop. So how much? Well, we're going to find out. Lock. Sense iron ore. Oop, I backed out, my bad. And we want this. Right now it's off, okay? We want it so that if ever at any point 10 is a good number, okay? 10, you're always going to have a ton of iron ore. So if you put it at 3, then you're going to find that it's, oh, I'm running out of juice. Hold on. Still don't really know what happens when you die. I'm half tempted, but we're gonna go there. Do that. So at any point, as soon as this number here becomes more than 10, then it will turn the blocker on, forcing the cubes out the other side, meaning it'll even out the procedure. Instead of 100 coming out here and 5 here and 2 there, it'll always work out. It'll even it all out nicely, all right? So that's the setup we're going to want, and it works out really, really well. Okay, so we'll set up these the same way, and I'll see you in a second. Everything should be set up now. Should work properly. All of them are off right now, meaning they're going to allow enough through till the 10 get in there. Now, is more than 10 going to end up in some of them? Definitely. But I don't care as long as it's not 100 and 0. You know what I mean? I want them to at least all have 10 before they close, before the other one opens up to the other place. And you'll see what I mean here once we get going. So this is ready to load right now, and we might as well get it going. There's no point just sitting here watching it. We might as well get it powered up and at least that part going. So we're going to go over here and steal some power from this. How much electric? Ooh, we're going to need some of those. But look, so we might as well get them crafting now. We have 100, but that's not going to last that long. I'm just going to bring this right here is fine. Fire. And go. No point going way back there because power ends there. Not there either. There. There. There we go. Now we'll pull that. Go down to here. Across to there. Okay, that's connected. Now we need to this way. Okay. Now, that should be all the wiring for this side. It looks great. None of it should be running yet, though. Why? If you know the answer, leave a comment down below. Well, it's because I never connected it up here yet. I still have wires at each one of these slots, connecting the machines, and now they should be going. And you'll see it start to spit out things here in a few seconds. Once they start to break down what they've caught. Perfect. Take a look. Yep. It's already starting to see stuff spit out. Perfect. And now only iron should be coming out of these, and everything else should be stuck inside here. Perfect. So see, everything's coming out there, right? And that would just keep happening. Oh, a few spit out here, but none in the middle came out yet, right? And that's what happened. So once this gets to 10, though, it'll force that closed and force it to come out a different hole until everything evens out. And that's why I did that. Like I say, the first time, because everything is just getting set up, it might spit out 20 before it shuts off because that line is quite big. But as soon as it shuts off, and I think it just did, now it's, yeah, it did shut off. It's forcing it to go out other places. And once this one's filled, it'll force it to come out the bottom, right? That's how it works. That way there it evens out your production. Let's see, there's 24 in that one. And this one's about to 10, so it's about to shut off. There, that one shut off, so that's blocking now. See? Worked like a charm. And now it's going to force everything to come out the middle one, which only has one. So from now on, everything here should come out. Why is it not coming out, friends? Lots there. Oh, I bet you I friggin' clicked on something by accident. What did I click on by accident? So controlling the middle one is this. Pick control device, which is here. It's showing that it's on. I bet you I picked the wrong thing here. Sense device should be this one. There. Not working. I wonder if the wires got twisted. I bet you that's exactly what's going on. This one's for here. It's not opening. So these wires, see how they're twisted up? I've never really played around with this too much. So I'm wondering if that's what happened. So we're going to we're going to destroy these two and take them away from here, because I don't want that happening. That's an error, and I don't like errors. So instead, we have room. We can put this right here even. We have plenty of room. There's no point in getting all congested like that. So now we're going to go ahead, pick control device. This is going to look for iron. And we have to actually put that to 10. And this is going to sense that. Iron. Done. Once that's at 10, it'll shut off. So that was just a small error, and I'm glad I figured it out. I mean, it's not horrible. It wasn't like game breaking, but I want it to work properly, so I know that these are all getting fed enough iron, and it's not all going to one. Because the last time I tried this, like I say, I was still getting plenty of stuff coming out, don't get me wrong, but I noticed it was slow. And I went and looked, and one of these was just like getting one iron ore here and there. It was spitting out a couple iron bars every now and then, and all the other ones were like working overtime trying to keep up. And I'm like, well, that's not good. I have 3. I want all 3 of them to spit out at the same time, right? So now it's working properly. It should be. Now, we don't have any power going to these, though, and they are not going anywhere yet. So at least we have the process of this filling up, and it's working fine and dandy. So next, we are going to put our next area in, which is going to be another storage, like I said, but I need room to build. So I can still build over here in this corner. I think we'll have enough if I put something like, I'd like to center it more too with up there if I could. Okay, go away block. We'll put it there. That looks very cool. Okay. And all these now are going to feed in to one of these. I don't need it to feed into more than one. So we're going to do that right now. And we only want iron bars coming out of this. Is anything else coming out of these? Nothing. Because only iron ore can get in it. So it doesn't really make a difference. I'm not going to bother putting a filter on this one. There's no point, right? So we'll come out here, and come out here. So let's power this up and get this going. Bring this straight across to here. And then up we have to go connect it through the floor. There, done. Now these will start spitting out iron bars right away. Just like that, friends. And that'll start that process. Now this will start filling up real nice and real quick. Not super congested, but it is congested. Don't love it. I think we got it. Good. Looks good. Perfect. Nothing too major. Not pretty, but it works. That's all that matters to me. Now there's like no lineup. Weird how that works. We're good though. At least we know it's not congested. It is working exactly how we want it to work, which is perfect. Now, we want to build the next step. The next step in our little project is going to be making plates. We need plates, and we need lots and lots of plates. So we need, I believe it's number 6, the plate. No, it's not number 6. It's number 7, I think. Constructor, which requires, let me just go take a look. The constructor requires copper bars. This is what we need into iron plates. So we need some copper bars. Do we have? We obviously don't have any on us, because if we did, it would show, and it doesn't show, meaning we don't have any. So we have to go back to here. There is some in here, just a few, but that's all we needed was a few. And now, well, we need more than a few, really. Let's go back here. Let's grab some of this copper. Gold. You can also grab copper here. We have 400. And we're going to go throw that into these smelters over here. This will make me a crap ton of copper. While we're working over there, this will get right on the copper making process, and we should be good to go in a few minutes. Okay, so now we do need number 7. We need an entry point and we need an exit, and I usually try and keep this relatively tight. I think this will work just fine. Actually, I could even pull it over a little bit more, really. Yeah, we'll put it right here. And I need a spot for the electrical, like there. That should work. And I usually only have 2 of these, and it works fine. I think it's overkill to have 3. But, I mean, it is possible that you could put 3 here if you want to. I think it would fit. But I'm just going to keep it to 2. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach that electrical there. Attach that electrical there. I'm going to attach all of this there. So it's online, but there's nothing getting fed into it, so it doesn't really make a difference. Next, we're going to set up our logic and our... Actually, we might as well set up our logic as well, yeah. Set this up. Here, you're going to see that I'm going to have a block. See why in a moment. So this here, all we want coming out of here, because there's going to be other things in here. The only thing we want coming out of here, though, is iron bars. That's it. That's all we want. And then we need to set up our logic blocks, but not until... and I'm just trying to think of how I want to do this. I could put them right there. So pick control device. Well, we want it to control this, and it's going to control iron. And pick sense device. We want this. So here's the deal. We're going to need iron bars sometimes to make things. All right, that I might not already have automatically made, because iron bars is used in a lot of resources. So what I like to do, I just want to make sure that if I ever need iron bars, that I have some. So what I'm doing is I'm going to keep a bank in here, and as long as the bank is there, it'll feed iron bars out to be made into plates or whatever else it needs to be made into. But if the bank is not met because I came and stole 500, well, I wanted to build the bank back up. You understand what I'm saying? So, in order for that to work, we're going to pick, not pick control device. We have to edit it. So we want this. So right now it's on, okay? We want this off at 500. Not on, right? Because right now it's bigger than 500. So now we would want this off. So all you have to do is switch the symbol. So now it's off. And once it gets below 500, so at 499, it would come back on again. And that's would keep 500 in your bank at all times. So that's how that works, and it's very simple. All right. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to pull it over here. Oh, we're out of oxygen again. Perfect. Good to go. Oh shoot, that's too close. Well, I guess I messed up with that, but that's minor, so we can just do this. There. Take these out. Very minor. Okay. We're going to go right up to the edge. Perfect. That's feeding into there. Now we want to feed directly into that side. Okay. And all we need now is a splitter. To go anywhere but to the left. And it'll split it evenly. Yeah. Perfect. So those bars are getting split up into both those machines. They're both now making plates at a good rate. Plates are coming in. So now we have a good, amazing process for plates. I'm going to probably keep up on the iron bars. You can see it's not really going down very quickly. And these plates are going to be being made at a really good rate, right? So you're going to easily keep up on this and have tons and tons. Next, we need to transfer those plates into wire, all right? Plates can be made into wire using the manufacturer here, right? Convert plates into wires. So that is the next thing we want to do. But here's the kicker. We don't want, plates are the things that we're using. It cost me 1,700 plates to build just the floor for this iron area. The copper area is going to be just as big, and you're going to probably need more than one iron area. So you're going to need lots and lots of plates. If I go looking for plates later and I have none because they're all being used to make wire or whatever, well, that's not going to work for me, right? So that's why setting limits with your logic blocks is always a really, really good idea. So we are going to go ahead. We're going to set this up over here. So we want the exit on the bottom again. It works better that way, I feel. We don't want it to suck from there. So this should work just fine. What am I missing? Oh, we need copper bars. Oh, no, that's the constructor. I don't want the constructor. We want the manufacturer. This should work just even better, really. So we need 2 of these. That's what I'd like to have. They pop out 3 wires a pop. And I don't think I need more than that. I think plenty. No, I'm questioning, should I put one more? Just one more. That's all I'm asking. I think 2's plenty. Okay, let's connect the power on these. Power here, connect the power there.
Electric storm incoming.
This, and we'll connect it to the main line. How are we doing on wire? We have 21 left. That's not amazing, is it? Soon we're going to have no more problems with the iron wire, but we still need the copper wire. That's where we're going to be. So we have 170-ish. Yeah, we'll take it all, frigate. We're taking it all. But I'm not going to convert all of it into wire just yet because I might need, so we'll convert 100 of it. So that's 300 wires. So all those machines are now not working because they got hit with the electric storm. And again, you figure that out as you go. It's not a big deal. And if you look in the top right, hovering over it, it shows auto asteroid catcher, and then you see the picture of the little battery, 20 seconds. That just shows you with the timer when they'll start working again. So that's fine. All right, let's continue. So we had enough. We did connect this, I'm pretty sure. We did. Good. How are we doing on power, by the way? So we're using 89 out of 150 so far. It's not horrible. Actually, it's 127 right now because all those were shut off. That's why they weren't being factored in. So it's 127 right now. By the time we're done this, it'll be close to 150. But we shouldn't be over, meaning we're going to have to make another power plant before we do the copper. All right, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. And all I'm going to do is in between episodes, I will make that exact replica of that base over here, and I'll make another one over there and another one over, like I'll just keep expanding my power plants as I need them. All right, now this is a big iron plant, way bigger than the one I made in the last, not way bigger, but a little bit bigger, probably 6 machines bigger than the other one, but those 6 machines suck up the energy. This is 4, so that's 24 extra energy, right? So the water plant I was able to make with the extra energy that I had to spare. This time I'm going to have to make the water, I'll have to make my copper maybe a little bit bigger, smaller, but I'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. There's unlimited resources and unlimited space. You can make this base as big as you want it. So let's continue. Let's go with a filter. We're going to filter out the bottom this time, though. This is where I never usually use the bottom, but I'm going to this round. And then I'm going to put blockers. But this time, my friends, I'm going to put 2 blockers. Why am I putting 2 blockers? If you know the answer to that, go ahead and put it in the comment section below. Everything will be just fine. What we want coming out of here is plates, because we're going to convert plates into wire. And we are going to need 2 logic block setups. This time we're not going to be foolish and put them touching other logic block setups. So we're going to do that, and we can put one over here. Perfect. One there, one there. A1. And then we are going to, I want to just make sure that that's set up. It is. So it's set up to make the iron blocks. So right off the bat, we're going to set up these logic blocks so we can get this going sooner rather than later. Pick sensed device. Well, for this block, for the very first block, we wanted to check to see how many iron plates are inside of here. All right. And the control device will be the very first one. Okay. And what we want to do is this. Again, like the iron bars, when I go to grab 1,700, 1,800 plates to make a big giant floor, I don't want to come here and wait around for other factory buildings to be done using my iron plates. I need them right now. All right. So how I'm going to set that up is pretty simple. I'm going to put this number to where I want it, which is 2,000. That's what I want in my bank at all times. So right now the blocker is off, meaning it would let it through, which we do not want. We do not want. We want it to be blocking right now. So we want it on. So you just switch the symbol. So now it's on. Once that number gets to, actually we're going to put this to 1999. Once it gets to 2,000 or more, it will shut that blocker off and allow them to go through the blocker. It'll open it up, per se. That's your open door. And it'll allow it to go through onto your path and make the wires that we want, all right? But if it's under 2,000, I want it on. I want it to block them in there so that the wires are not going to be being made because I need the 2,000 first, all right? Then there's going to be another blocker. Well, what do you think this blocker is? Well, I don't want 5 million wires. All right, I only need so many wires. So what we're going to do with this one, pick control device, is going to be the second blocker, and I want to make sure I'm picking the second blocker and not something else. We are also going to be watching, actually we're going to be watching wire this time, not copper plates. And we are going to be the sensed device. We are going to be also picking that. We want it to be sensing I just picked the wrong one. Hold on. Whoa. I did. Didn't. I did. Okay, I'm glad. Shit. Just changed that up by accident. Okay, I switched it back. We're good. That could have been bad. So we're looking at this one. Pick sense device. This one here. So we want this to be sensing wire. Okay. And now what we want is for this, as long as I don't already have, oh, shoot. I'll get it eventually here. So how many wires do I think I'm going to need? All right. I really don't know the answer to that. I haven't gone to the end game yet. I've been like pretty far into the mid game, but I don't know if I'm going to need wires later, right? But it's safe to say that if I had a bank of about 1,000, it's going to be a lot. I'm happy with 1,000. If I need more, I can increase this number later, all right? But for now, I want this to be at 1,000. So once I have 1,000 wires in here, I want this to turn on, all right? And right now, is set up exactly how you want it because it's off right now. It's going to let stuff through until it'll let the plates through until I have 1,000 wires stored up. Once I have 1,000 wires stored up, it's just going to click on and block the plates from coming through, meaning I'm going to have a bigger bank of plates in there, which is what I want. I'd rather have 10,000 plates than 10,000 wires that I might not use. So once I finally get my 1,000 wires, the plates will just start to build up in here, even to a bigger bank than they already were, which is great news for me because I want more plates than I want wires. Okay, so that setup is complete. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect the path. So now I can use and build roads using the iron plates inside here. So there's no point keeping them on me. This is going to put me over my 2,000 limit, and watch what's going to happen. Boom, iron plates start coming out. Right? And they're going to start, so with the 700 extra, 715 or whatever extra, and they're going to keep being made, so it's not really going to go down super quick. It's going to start making my wires for me. All right? So that's that part of it. Now we just have to bring the path so that it's going back to my original output, or input, output, my storage unit there. Actually, I don't like doing it like this. I'd rather have the space in between. That to there, switch that to there. Perfect. And the wire's going to start popping out, my friends. Again, once I hit 1,000 wires, those plates will stop being inputted. And now, I say that if you're going to notice that these are going to hold a bunch of plates, there's going to be way more plates in here than there are wires. Why? It's because this is not going to stop until this reaches 1,000 wires. Well, this right here, these are going to fill up and have 500 plates in each, which is way more than 1,000 wires. So what's going to happen is as those get used up, the wires will, it will eventually block that. But we're going to end up with 1,500 wires for a while until we start using them. And then once they get below that threshold, it'll open up and start producing a bunch more, right? But yeah, at the start, because we're so far behind on wires, you're going to see it's not really an error. It's just it's like buffering. All right. That'd be the best way to explain it. All right. So now we have wires being made. We're good. We can put these wires in there because again, we can use anything in this automatically. I could put these copper wires in there. And now when I make my wires, it's just going to take from here instead of my backpack, for instance. All right. We can put all this stuff in there. If you don't want to have it on you, you can put it all in there. And we can use it as we see fit. All right, so that's going to be our metal wire, iron wire building. And next, we have to go on to the next thing, which is going to be made, I believe, in the smelter. Okay, so let's see what we have in the smelter here. We can make iron rods. All right. So just like earlier, we're going to need carbon ore, all right? And we're also going to need more plates. So we're going to have to make sure that we always have our 1,000 plates in there. We don't want to use the plates if there's not 1,000. because you can see how quick it would drain them if I had that using plates and the next thing using plates. It'll drain them way too quick, right? So we don't want to do that. Or 2,000 plates, I think I have it set up to. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to build a couple smelters. Bit of room, I think 2 is plenty. We're going to, again, make the exact same setup style that we did a second ago with 2 blockers, all right? We're going to modify this so that it only lets out these. That's it. That's all we want it to let out. And honestly, just thought of something, but it's not enough. That's not enough carbon ore coming in because we have 9,000. All right, we have 9,000 over here. So all I'm going to do is manually feed this machine like 4,000 each. You know what I mean? There's no point in putting a conveyor belt. 8,000 friggin' carbon ore is going to last me forever. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put 4,000 in each of these. So I'll go ahead and do that right now just to be done. 1,000 there, 4,000 here. Done. So that's going to take care of our carbon ore problem. All right. And we have to turn this recipe on and this recipe on here. So now we're good there. We just need the plates, and this should be good to go. We can quickly set this part up. What is direction are we facing? This tied in. Been doing. Done. So that part's done. Now we have to set up our logic blocks, and the reason why I did that is because I want to know where I can put my logic blocks. Oh, I need more oxygen. In fact, I need to know where to set my logic blocks. So in a minute, I'm going to come out here. You're going to go to here. I'm going to set this part up now because if I was to put this down, before I'd have enough chance to click on this and take the 0 that's pushing to the left or the 1 that's pushing to the left, it would actually push my bar into to this one and make it go back in, which I don't want it to do. So now it's set up properly. Okay, so this is set up except for the logic blocks. So we'll go ahead and do that now. We're going to do this. One for each one of those blocks. Pick sense device. Okay, we're going to pick this one first. We want to make sure again that these plates never gets below 2,000. So 19, 9. Okay. Plates. Now it's on, but we don't want it on, we want it off right now because we want it to allow it through, right? But this is the way you want this set up, and we have to choose a device though. Pick a control device, we'll pick that one. Perfect. So right now it's off, and you can see it's bright red. Bright red means it's off, just like those two over there. The light red means it's on and it's going to block. So pick sense device. Again, we're going to pick this. And this time we're looking for the bars. I think it's these ones. Iron rods. Okay, so that's what we wanted to pick up. And the control device this time is going to be the one in the front. This time, I think 1,000 iron rods is plenty. Okay, and we will choose that. So right now it's off, okay, until we get to 1,000 where it will come back on. All right, so this is set up properly. Well, we'll put 999. Perfect. So that's right now is off, meaning some plates could come through, but they're not. Well, it's because I haven't connected my path yet, friends. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And that should push out some plates here too. Right? It's pushing them out here. It's pushing some out here. Plates coming everywhere. And now, though, once that gets below 2,000 plates, it's going to shut off both places until it can catch up again. Perfect. Okay, we need electricity. That and that. Right to the main drag. Done. And iron bars popping out. That's going to take care of our iron bars. There's only one thing left to do, friends. Steel screws. That's it. And those are made with the iron bars. So this is the part where I was missing in my last run. I completely forgot about the steel screws. I had everything else working just as you see it, but the steel screws I had to manually make because I didn't have an exit point because I had blocked off this back side. So now I did this on purpose so that we can do it this round. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to build this. Let me see here. Where can we put this so that it's got room? I think that we could do it. Okay, come on, block. Go away. We'll put that roughly. I don't want it coming out into my thing, but this should be plenty. I could back it up one more. Put that there. To make sure that they're set up for screws. Now, I'll put the electricity on there now as well while I'm thinking about it. That's one thing I usually forget. So I'm trying to stay on top of it this game. Actually, that one was already connected. That's even better. Put it right on the line. Yeah, perfect. So those are connected. I'm going to bring exit. So we know where to build our logic blocks. We might as well just get this done right now. Out here. This way. Keep it relatively tight. There. Come in. And there. Just like that, friends. So we're going to come straight out. Up again. Did that wrong. Left. Not to shoot off this way. Like that. We will put a splitter here. Nothing's going to the left. All right. So now all we have to do is this, and this is completely set up, my friends. 2 blockers. Logic set up. We'll put one. Put them here. Here and one here. Okay. We'll set the first one. The sense device is going to be here. So, and this will be controlling our bars. Or not our bars, our rods. Okay. Iron rods. Control device will be the first one. And this also is going to be iron bars. And as long as we have 1,000, and turn off. Okay. Right now, we have it set opposite. So we want it to be on because we don't have 1,000 bars yet. It should have been on, not off. So this will be fine. Exactly how we want this set up. So once that reaches 1,000, which won't take too long, we're already 10% of the way there, it'll open up and allow this to be fed. Okay. Then the other one, sense device, is also going to be this. This one is going to be what we're making, the screws. Screws, I don't know how many of those I'm going to need, but I think it's going to be more than average because if I remember correctly, there's some recipes that take a lot of them. So we're going to go with 2,000 screws. So 2,000 screws, it's going to shut off. So screws and screws. Control device is going to be the other one. Now it is off, okay? Because we need it to get to 2,000. And actually, we're going to keep that at 1,999. Okay. Why is that red? Seen this turn red like that before. Something? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do this. Oh shit. I know why. Because this wasn't set to the screws, which is my bad. Okay, so now there is a friggin' brick there. We're going to have to go ahead and take this out. And we're going to have to just redo this. And this time we're going to have to do it right. So we don't want that. We want the screws. There. And this. Perfect. So something is blocking it right away. Why? Well, I know because I don't have enough rods, right? It has to get to 1,000 rods. Still don't understand why it's flashing red. That's so friggin' strange, my friends. I've never seen it before. Don't know. Like, none of the other ones are flashing red. I don't get it. Unless it's just a graphical thing. It could be, because everything is still working fine, so it could be just graphics. Yeah, don't know. Good. Everything seems to be working smoothly. The only way we're going to be able to test this out, though, is when we get to 1,000 bars, or rods. So for now, what do we have over here? I think it's safe to say that this, other than the copper, is almost useless. All right. So once we set up the copper, which is not going to be in the next episode because I want to set up oxygen next, because I can't be just running back and forth and refilling oxygen and worrying about oxygen. I just want to be able to stand here if I want to stand here. And we're going to set that up in the next episode, my friend. So if you don't mind hitting the like and subscribe button down below, if you liked what you saw, that'd be awesome. Leave me a comment, and yeah, we'll see you there, friends.